Imagine waking up in the Demon Slayer universe when suddenly your village is attacked by demons. Oh my god, this is crazy.
Leave him be. One person can't change the fate of this world.
I managed to get away and started to collect some wood to help me survive. That's when I spotted a village close by. Before heading over there, I got some stone, made some stone tools, and mined some coal and iron. I headed over to my new home and met with the villagers. Hey, my village was attacked by demons. Is it okay if I stay here?
Sure thing.
The sun set and a demon was lurking in my new village. I fought together with the Iron Golem to protect my new friends. Hey, we did it! Good job, buddy. Defeating the demon gave me a Demon Slayer uniform and a Nichirin sword. My journey to create a peaceful world was about to begin. Day 2, I started by feeding the village cows when I noticed the village was on fire. What happened? I need to put this out quick. After stopping the fire, I headed out to collect some food and then headed down into a cave to do some mining. I made an iron pickaxe, collected some gold, redstone, and diamonds. This was so easy to do in this incredible cave. I then upgraded my pickaxe to diamond and mined some rare scarlet ore. This will be useful later for getting some rare swords. I made myself a compass which gave me this fancy UI and then slept in a sleeping bag. The next day I made myself a clock so I don't go mad down in the caves and started mining cobbled deep slate which I'll use when building my house. I got ambushed by a bunch of zombies which gave me the perfect opportunity to test out my water breathing. They also dropped a name tag which was pretty sweet. I then mined some obsidian before heading back to the surface. Fresh air at last. I crafted an iron chest to store all of my goodies and then I spotted a big demon lurking near my village. I heard that laugh before. Maybe he's the one who started the fire. Before I could confront him, I had to take on another demon, but the hand demon managed to slip away while I was fighting. I got myself an iron axe and started to collect a bunch of wood on day 4. I then headed into the mountain near my village to mine up some rare scarlet ore, some normal scarlet ore, diamonds, cobbled deep slate, fancy crystals, and some marble. I surfaced on day 5. Back at my village, I found a swordsmith. He offers sword trades for 2 rare scarlet ore. So I traded with him and got Zenitsu's sword. I was now ready to start constructing my The hand demon's back. This time, I won't let him get away. I started by taking out some of the other demons that followed him here. With my water breathing techniques, I was able to swiftly finish them off. It was then time to take on the hand demon. I used a mixture of thunder and water breathing to take him on. He almost managed to take me out, but my blade was quicker than his hands. It's day 5 and I'm already climbing up the Demon Slayer ranks. On day 6, I made myself a diamond helmet and then spent the next couple of days constructing my new home, using the wood, marble, and cobbled deep slate I had collected. I ran out of materials whilst making the roof, and that's when I heard a familiar laugh. 2 hand demons were lurking close by. I had to protect my new friends and home, so I attacked them. I'm stronger than I was on day 5, so the battle flowed in my favor. Let's end this. Water breathing 10th form, constant flux. The village was safe once more, and I ranked up as well. On day 8, I went to get the rest of the materials I needed to finish off my house. Some cobbled deep slate in the mines and some dark oak from the nearby forest.
Hey, thanks for dealing with those demons.
No problem. If you'll excuse me, I've got a roof to finish. So that's what I did until day 9. And now I've got a lovely home in this wonderful village. After adding some finishing touches to the exterior, I made myself a gold chest for some insane storage. I then spent the rest of the day sorting out my items and adding to the interior of my home. Of course, during the night I kept a close eye on the village and slayed any demons who entered. I could use some rest. Oh, what?
Hey yo, Sen, you've got a new mission.
You just talk?
There's a pillager tower close by. 2 demons have been spotted there. Go deal with them right now.
So, after listening to the magic crow, I headed towards the pillager tower, fighting all of the demons on my way. I found one of the demons nearby at the tower. She threw balls at me, but she wasn't ready for 2nd form, Water Will. The 2nd demon caught me off guard whilst I was collecting food. He flung me up in the air, but using my techniques, I could land just fine. I quickly chopped off his head and completed the crow's mission. Day 10 started with some farm work around the village. I wanted to help out as much as I could, so I planted some crops, fed the cows, and then started making my own wheat farm beside my house. After a little bit of work, I had a lovely looking farm. I also decided it was time to link up my house with the rest of the village. As the sun set, I headed up the mountain. I wanted to collect some more scarlet ore, the rare and normal kind. Of course, during the night, I was attacked by demons. I thunderclapped a few of them into the Shadow Realm and was then confronted by this ugly fish demon. Oh, it's gross looking. I rained down a swift slice from above to end its misery, which ranked me up again. My new home home looked lovely from atop the mountain. I won't let it suffer the same fate as my last home. The cow population was expanding too quickly though, so I thinned out their numbers and then continued working on my house's interior. I added a smoker to cook all the steak I collected and then headed out on a little adventure to find sugarcane. I collected my cooked food and was ready to sleep for the night when I heard that annoying laugh. What the heck? How are all those demons back again? I didn't have time to question it. I fought against all of them at the same time. The ball girl was beaten first and I was flung up into the air. I quickly finished off the arrow demon and then sliced my way through the hand demon. Another demon showed up at my doorstep. What the heck is this thing? A Kappa demon. It's my first time seeing one, so I made sure to slay him as fast as I could. I ranked up twice in one night. On day 12, I was greeted by my crow once again.
Hey, yo, Sen, new mission. Former lower 6 of the 12 demon moons has been spotted in a birch forest. We sent one demon slayer to investigate, but we've lost contact. Go deal with him.
I set out and headed towards former lower 6 Kogai. It took me the whole day, but I eventually reached the birch forest. That's when I saw him and my fallen comrade. Oh no, I was too late. I'll avenge you. Kogai would have destroyed me if I met him on day 1, but now I'm much stronger. He did have a few friends to back him up, but in the end I managed to defeat him. To honor my fallen comrade, I made him a grave and paid my respects. I did all that I could and made the sad journey home. I arrived back on day 13. I spent the day doing some chores around the village, planting sugarcane, tending to the cows, and doing some farming.
Hey, Sen, I've heard some rumors that the nearby pillagers are working with the demons. Might be worth checking out.
Whoa, that's messed up. I'll go investigate. I headed up to the pillager tower to investigate, and at the top I found a chest. What the? Muzan's blood. Wait. There was an evoker during the attack on my village as well. I waited by the tower for a little while, dealing with any demons or pillagers that showed up. I need you to send a message to our master. The demons and pillagers are working together. While I wait for my master to reply, I decided to make myself an enchanting table. I then spent the next couple of days building up a house around it. My new home is expanding and looking pretty amazing if you ask me. On day 16, I harvested a bunch of sugarcane so I could make some bookshelves. I added them to my enchanting area, and as I left the building, I was greeted by my crow.
Hi again, it's me. Well, you've got a new mission. Lower rank 6 has been spotted at a pillager tower. He might be connected with the attack on your home.
Understood. I charged up the pillager tower to confront lower rank 6. I need to stop him before he does anything crazy. He blasted me off the tower and I started my hardest fight so far. He was a lot stronger than any of the other demons I had faced. He could teleport and he shot snakes at me. Who does that? But I sliced off his head with third form flowing dance. When I arrived back home, I had to fight off a Kappa demon, and that's when I got the news that I've been promoted to the rank of Hashira. On day 17, I was the farming Hashira. I planted more wheat, tended to the cows, and added some more decorations around my base. During the night, I hunted demons, slicing through a few of them when suddenly a strong-looking demon appeared near the pillager tower. I think the pillagers are going to be sending all kinds of demons after me now. This one exploded pillars of fire from the ground, but it was no match for my Godspeed. Day 18, I started heading in search of a desert village. I was told that a swordsmith would be waiting there for me. I found a savannah village and asked the locals for directions. They happily told me where to go. Once I reached the desert, I grabbed a bunch of cactus and sugarcane. I'm gonna need both a little later on. I arrived at the village, but I couldn't find the swordsmith. I checked out a nearby nether portal and grabbed some loot from inside its chest, and then waited there for most of the day, but he never showed up, so I decided to head back. Back at base, I made some bookshelves, and now my enchanting area is ready to be used. I headed out with some dye and got some coloured wool. I needed it to make my new uniform, seeing as I'm a Hashira after all. I enchanted my leggings with protection and unbreaking 3. I then headed down into the caves to mine up a bunch of iron. I also dealt with a few demons who were seeking shelter underground. I made myself an anvil, enchanted my boots with protection 3, and then repaired my Nichirin sword. I heard demons during the night, so I rushed out and swiftly chopped off a bunch of their heads. On day 20, I heard that the swordsmith was back at the desert village. I ran there as fast as I could. I got there by nightfall and I found him. He was looking buff. He traded me the insect Hashira's sword, and then he also gave me the stone Hashira's weapons. I tried out my weapons on a few nearby monsters. Stone breathing packs a punch, and insect breathing poisons my enemies. On day 21, I found a desert temple, and the most impressive thing I got was a feather falling 3 enchanted book. During the evening, I stumbled upon a new village. I heard some people whispering about demons, so I decided to hang around and see if anything would show up. I ended up fighting a few nearby demons with my new sword, but I wasn't prepared for what was about to happen. A couple of demons started destroying the village right under my nose. It turns out one of them was former lower rank 2. He used dynamite as a weapon and was a serious challenge. Halfway through the fight, he wielded a sword and had this strange armor on. The battle raged on until I managed to finish him off with some deadly poison. I rushed to disarm the TNT he left and to put out the building that was on fire. I made a grave for the villager we lost to pay my respects, and then fixed up the damage caused by the demons. I stayed one more night to defend the village from any nearby demons and noticed a lot of these weird headless demons. Where are they coming from? Day 23, I made the journey back home, and by the time I got there, demons were roaming around my village. I quickly dealt with them and made sure my villager friends were safe. The next day, I enchanted my water-breathing sword with red sword 3, sharpness 3, fire aspect 2, and unbreaking 3, which is amazing. I spent a lot of the day trying to get my villagers invested in our economy. I wanted to get mending for my super amazing sword, and after a little while, I got the trade I was looking for. On day 25, I was chopping down some trees when a Kappa demon approached me.
My master sees all.
He immediately exploded in the sun. That was creepy. Back at base, I made a few fletching tables so I could really start an economic boom. I traded sticks with some of my villagers and started saving up emeralds. It took all night, but I eventually had enough to get my hands on a mending book, which I quickly added to my water-breathing sword. On day 26, my crows stopped by with another mission.
A demon family is close by. Lower rank 5 and his spider family has been seen on Mount Natagumo. Headless spider demons might be related. Your mission is simple. Destroy the demons.
I headed up the mountain as fast as I could and started destroying all the demons I saw, when suddenly a huge spider head demon stood in front of me. It had beaten 4 demon slayers. I poisoned it with my sword, but that made it angry, and it smashed the ground, decimating all the nearby slayers. No! You monster, you'll pay for this! Blinded by rage, I sliced through a bunch of demons. It felt like I had a fever and my heart was racing. I had unlocked the Demon Slayer mark, increasing my power. That's when I spotted more of those headless spider demons and another one of Rui's family. I made quick work of them using insect and stone breathing. As the night was coming to an end, I found a strange abandoned looking house. I went to check it out when I was suddenly jumped by Rui's sister. One slice was more than enough for that weakling. I stole a futon from the house, and then once night hit, I carried on fighting demons. Every kill is one step closer to peace. I still couldn't find Rui or his brother though. Come out and face me. You've got to be around here somewhere. On day 28, I found a terrible sight, a trail of demon slayers. So many young recruits have been defeated on this mountain. I followed the bodies and found Rui's brother hanging from a house. He was a poison user and sprayed some nasty stuff at me, but it was easy for me to dodge. Your rampage ends here. Thunder breathing, first form, thunderclap and flash, Godspeed. Now only Rui remains. I made my way back to the house I found previously. I planned to rest there when suddenly Rui jumped down from the roof. His blood demon art packed a punch, and the mountainside terrain made this a real uphill battle. But I prepared my blade and hit him with striking tide, severing his head from his body. Mission accomplished. Day 29, I made it back home, and to celebrate my latest successful mission, I decided to trade sticks for emeralds, and then emeralds for mending books. I then had some blessed luck while enchanting my diamond pickaxe. It got efficiency 4, unbreaking 3, and fortune 3. I added a mending book to it, and then started vein mining coal for XP to repair it. I also fought some demons above ground to speed up the mending process. The next day, pillagers attacked my village. They must have been angry that I discovered their alliance with the demons. I sliced my way through a horde of pillagers. They started sending bigger beasts for me to fight, and then eventually the evokers showed up. I'm sure their magic will play a key role for the demons later on. I finished the raid and collected 5 of their totems. I was also able to make myself a backpack using some Ravager leather. I can now carry so many items. I love a good backpack. On day 31, I chopped down a bunch of trees. I wanted to take advantage of my discounted trades, so I collected as many emeralds as I could and then bought myself 3 mending books. I ended the day off by increasing the size of my farmland. Urgent message from headquarters. Muzan has started giving demons more blood. They have increased health, increased speed, and increased power. Be careful, Slayer. I headed out to deal with these powered up demons, and sure enough, they were harder to kill. If the basic demons are now this strong, how much stronger are the 12 demon moons going to be? On day 33, I got a report that the buff swordsman was waiting for me at a nearby village, so I rushed over there as quickly as I could. This time he traded me the wind Hashira sword, which is probably one of my favorite. Close by I found a nice looking house. There were some cherry blossom trees, so I mined some of the leaves. The house was completely empty inside though. I left and carried on exploring the nearby lands. I sailed a little distance to a new snowy island. There I found Tanjiro's house. I took the shulker box from inside and then spotted another house close to the first one. When I went to investigate, it was a trap. Demons rushed out from the house. There was a headless spider demon, a hand demon, and then lower rank 2 showed himself. He was strong, especially with the increased power, but in the end I managed to defeat him with my poison. On day 34 I made the long journey back home. Along the way, I stopped at the grave in the birch forest to pay my respects to the Demon Slayer, and then mined some scarlet ore and Mount Yoko. When I finally made it home, I crafted myself a cherry blossom sword. I then enchanted my chest plate and helmet. I also added mending to all of my armor, so now I feel much safer. The next day, I got another mission.
Lower rank 1 has been found. Just past the mountain aboard a train, you'll find him. Now go, destroy the highest ranking lower moon.
I set off to find the train and prepare myself for a tough battle. I boarded the train and found demons waiting for me in the first few carriages. So I battled my way through and reached the end. Where the heck is he? The sun's coming up and he's nowhere to be found. That's when I spotted it. An entrance to the mountain next to the train. Lower rank 1 must have slipped into here while the demons distracted me on the train. A little way down in the mountain and I found a demon feeding ground. There are a bunch of demons there, but I couldn't see their leader. I started fighting all of the demons and that's when I saw him. Lower rank 1. Enmu. He put me straight to sleep, but when I awoke, I made sure to fire off as many techniques as I could. When I dealt a lot of damage, he transformed into a train. His increased size made him so much easier to hit, and after a few slices, I managed to defeat him. Of course, day 36 was spent making graves for the fallen villagers. They didn't deserve to be demon food. On the way home, I got ambushed by some more demons. I battled my way through them, and I ended up facing off against another strong-looking fire demon. Day 37, I got an urgent message.
Hashira meeting. All Hashiras are to gather at the Master's place.
The journey took me a few days. Admittedly, I got a little lost while traveling. I made sure to grab some extra food along the way, check out some villages, and of course, kill some demons. On day 39, I arrived at the Master's place. I need to head inside quickly. The others are probably waiting for me. I didn't know this at the time, but it looks like some pillagers were spying on our meeting.
As you all have reported, the demons are appearing more frequently and stronger than before. We've since discovered that the king of the Evokers is working directly with Muzan. Combining Muzan's blood with their magic, Evokers are able to bring back fallen demons. You must all seek out the 3 legendary swordsmiths to aid you. The first one is located in an ice spikes biome.
Urgent message from headquarters. Muzan has started giving demons more blood. They have increased health and increased speed. Be careful, Slayer. I made the long journey home on day 40. I went to investigate the pillager tower. The meeting made me even more concerned about the pillagers' involvement. I also witnessed firsthand how fast these demons are now. It feels like Muzan will power up the demons every 10 days from now. Back near my base, low rank 4 and 3 were lurking by. Something was off though. They were far too easy to kill. The next couple of days, I spent searching for the first legendary swordsmith. I boated back to the snowy island I discovered previously, and by day 42, I arrived at the ice spikes biome. I looked around atop a hill and spotted the swordsmith. The ice swordsmith was willing to craft me an ice sword for 64 lapis, 64 snow, and 64 ice. It took me from day 42 to day 44 to collect everything I needed. I needed silk touch to be able to get some ice, so I headed to a nearby village and got some stick trades set up. I then got the materials I needed to make a lectern and started convincing a librarian to give me a silk touch trade. It took a little while, but I finally have it. So I chopped some more wood, traded more sticks, and bought the silk touch book. Next, I headed down into some caves to do some mining. I got a bunch of iron, lapis, diamonds, and obsidian. I made an enchanting table, a diamond pickaxe, and a diamond shovel. I enchanted them both with efficiency 1 and started collecting snowballs with my shovel. I then added silk touch to my new pickaxe and started started collecting all the ice I needed. During the night of day 44, I finally had everything I needed to get my ice sword.
May this new sword serve you well. The next swordsmith is located in the hellish dimension. Best of luck to you.
My new sword gave me the inspiration for ice breathing. My new techniques were cool and I felt slightly more prepared to deal with the stronger demons. Day 45, I headed back home. Once there, I upgraded my golden chest to diamond ones and now my storage is insane. To end off the day, I did a bit of work around my farmland. The next morning, I started planting some colourful trees around my village and then headed down into the mines to get some more building materials. Whilst down there, I saw a lot of demons. They were under my base this whole time. Back above ground, I got my first taste of the Evoker's new powers. He resurrected Kogai, so I had to battle him once again. I cut through him like butter. Day 47 to 48, I built up a shrine for my Nether portal. The next legendary swordsmith is hiding away in the Nether after all. To finish off this build, I added a path connecting it up to my home. I was getting ready to head inside the Nether when I spotted another Evoker. When I got close, he resurrected lower rank 6. With the power up from Muzan, lower rank 6 was much faster than before. I didn't let him intimidate me. Chill, give me a sec. Oh, he died to gravity. On day 49, I checked inside the Nether real quick, killed some spirit things and left. That place gives me the creeps. I then headed into the mines again because I could hear demon noises. So I murdered a bunch of them, did a little bit of mining and then got punched into the lava by this headless spider demon. Luckily, I can breathe really well, so lava doesn't hurt me too bad. The night welcomed a ton of demons as well, so I stayed up and protected my home. Urgent message from headquarters. Muzan has started giving demons more blood. They have increased health and increased power. Be careful, Slayer. Day 50 to 51, I went on a mining mission. I wanted gold so I could craft some golden apples. I mined gold, coal, lapis, and diamonds. I also got into loads of fights with the new and improved demons. They're so much stronger now, and I'm starting to fear for my life just a little. The next day, I crafted up 16 golden apples, which should definitely help me survive even just a little bit more. I was getting ready to head back into the Nether when...
Hey yo Sen, new mission. Upper rank 6 has been spotted near a faraway village. Head there and eliminate the upper moon.
I set off. I was feeling anxious. My first encounter with an upper moon was almost here. I got to the village around midnight and sure enough, close by, Daki was waiting. She's definitely the strongest demon I've fought so far, but something doesn't feel right. Is she really an upper moon? After a close battle, the table suddenly turned when Daki split into two. Her brother was so aggressive and insanely strong. He uses poison and shoots out flying blood sickles. It was looking pretty hopeless until the Sound Husherer showed up. Their battle was intense. Uzui performed incredibly, and I tried my best to support him from the sidelines. It looked like we were gonna win when I got blasted away by upper rank 6. Ugh, my head. When I came to, it was morning, and there was no sign of Uzui or upper rank 6. I headed back home and decided I needed to upgrade my armor. I got some new leggings, and then enchanted them with protection 4 and unbreaking 3. I added a mending book to my leggings, and after that, I spotted her. Daki, she'd followed me home. Where's Uzui? There's no way he lost to you guys.
That ugly creature? My brother's poison finished him off.
I didn't want to believe it, so I fought with all my might. There's no way Uzui would have lost to these clowns. Of course, the battle was easy until her brother showed his ugly face. I felt a rage boil up from within. I was prepared to take them down whatever the cost. I managed to use the river to my advantage during the fight. I launched cherry blossom techniques at them and dashed across the water's surface to deal my own poison damage. The battle dragged on throughout the night with neither side backing down. Some minor demons started distracting me, and before I knew it, upper rank 6 had escaped again. On day 54, I was getting sick of demons escaping me, so I needed some quick experience so I could enchant more of my swords. I disenchanted Red Sword 2 from my extra swords. This quick boost of XP let me enchant my Ice Sword with Unbreaking 3 and Looting 2. Next thing I needed was some melons. I knew I would need potions for my future battles. So I set out to look for a jungle, and to my surprise, Daki followed me once again. Our battle was intense as always, but I wasn't prepared this time. I almost died to her brother's poison and had to retreat 3 times. They've humiliated me. Days 55 to 56 were spent searching for a jungle. I traveled a long way using my techniques, propelling myself through the air and boating across the vast ocean, until I eventually arrived at a jungle. I chopped down some bamboo and searched the jungle until I eventually found the melons I wanted. started. I bid farewell to a snot-nosed panda and spent days 57 to 58 traveling back home. I killed any demons I came into contact with and farmed some food as well. Back at base, I planted some bamboo and then got to work on making my melon farm. During the night of day 58, Daki challenged me once again. I refuse to allow this demon to toy with me any longer. This will be the fourth and final time. I used the river to my advantage again this time and unleashed a barrage of attacks. I launched her brother into space for a mere moment. I took a lot of damage and was forced to retreat slightly to heal. Our exchanges were insanely aggressive. Neither side backed down and we pummeled each other with a flurry of attacks. But after a long and painful night, I managed to sever Upper Rank 6's head. I had done it. The first Upper Moon to be defeated in 100 years. Day 59, I headed back to the Nether. I needed to find the next legendary swordsmith. In the Nether, I found a bastion, which I looted. I got a diamond shovel, gold, iron blocks, gold blocks, and a netherite scrap. I swam in lava a bit, of course, accidentally, and then found another bastion. It had more of the same loot, but it also had some nether wart, which I needed for potion brewing. Urgent message from headquarters. Muzan has started giving demons more blood. They have increased health. Be careful, Slayer. The next couple of days until day 62 were spent still searching for the legendary swordsmith. I eventually stumbled upon a nether fortress, and right next to it, he was standing there. The swordsmith that I needed. He'll craft me a death blade for 64 bones, 64 rotten flesh, and 64 soul sand. I instantly grabbed the soul sand and then broke my way into the fortress. Inside, I killed a bunch of monsters, including wither skeletons, zombie pig boys, and blazes. I also looted any of the chests I saw and collected some more nether wart. I kept killing mobs and collecting their items until I had everything I needed to get my death blade.
This blade is cursed, but this won't be enough for the upcoming battles. See, I think you should search out the last swordsmith. From what I heard, he hides away in the stronghold, but that's just a rumor. Still, best of luck.
I was ready to leave the Nether, so I made myself a portal and got the hell out of there. I had quite a journey to get back home, so I set out. As night fell, I arrived at a village. 2 evokers stood in my way. When I got close to them, they resurrected lower rank 6 and 5. I wasn't worried though. After all, I am an upper rank killer now. I got to test out my new death blade and it was haunting. I made sure to quickly finish off the lower moons and I carried on my way home. Day 63, I enchanted my death blade with sharpness 4, knockback 2, and fire aspect 2. Collected some sand to make glass, made a brewing stand, and started making my first instant health 2 potions. These will definitely be useful against the upper moons.
Hi again, Sen. New upper moon has been spotted. Upper rank 5 has been seen at a desert village. This is an urgent mission. Leave at once.
Before I could even reply, I was attacked by a serpent demon. I quickly dealt with the demon, grabbed some extra potions, and ran towards a desert village. By the time I got there, it was too late. The village had been destroyed, and the villagers were wiped out. I saw the upper moon who was responsible. What gives you the right to play with these people's lives? I'll make sure you pay. This battle was insanely tough. Upper rank 5 summoned fish demons, teleported himself using his pots, and dealt insane damage that also poisoned me. I got pushed back by his fish army, and by the time I got back to the village, it was already sunrise. He managed to escape me and the sunlight. This village deserved so much better. All I can do now is honor the dead, so I made graves for all of them, which took almost all of day 64. I'm sorry I didn't arrive quick enough to save you guys, but I promise I will bring about a peaceful world. I headed back home and felt utterly defeated. I couldn't save a single soul, but it wasn't over. While doing my usual scout around the pillager tower, I found him. He came to me. I rushed up the tower, fourth form, rising dust storm. I launched him off the tower and tried to get revenge for the countless lives he destroyed. Blinded by rage, I stayed too close to one of his pots, and for a second, my heart stopped. I was saved by the magic of the evokers. After healing up, I re-engaged, and upper rank 5 had a small army of fish demons. I had to slice my way through all of them whilst avoiding his attacks. As the sun started to rise, it looked like I could beat him, but he disappeared into one of his pots. He escaped again. On day 65, I started by gathering some food and breeding the cows. I gained some quick levels with disenchants and then enchanted a book with sharpness 4. I added it to my death blade so it now has sharpness 5. I continued disenchanting until I could enchant my wind sword with sweeping edge 3 and red sword 3. The upper moon seriously liked taunting me. Gyoko was waiting for me near my house. This is the time he goes down. I won't let him torture anyone else ever again. My wind-breathing style now dealt way more damage with Red Sword 3, so I unleashed a ton of techniques. Occasionally, I would have to retreat to heal myself with breathing, but I always charged straight back in. Eventually, I hit him so hard he had no choice but to transform, revealing his true power. He jumped around the battlefield, but it was easy to avoid him. I skillfully dodged his attacks and let off a few more of my powerful techniques. I finished him off with my Death Blade. It was begging for the kill. 2 upper moons down, 4 to go. On day 66, my first melon grew. So I made some glycerine melon slices, and also I made some bamboo spike traps. They're kinda useless against demons, but they remind me of a certain mask-wearing water breather. I spent the night killing a bunch of demons. All this training will help me prepare for the next upper moon. Day 67, I made myself a disenchanter. This item is going to help me increase my power an enormous amount. With it, I'm able to extract Red Sword 2 enchants from my swords. I can then combine 2 of those enchanted books to get Red Sword 3. So I spent a little bit of time disenchanting swords to gain levels, and then I made a couple of Red Sword 3 books. I added them to my Death Blade and my Ice Sword. It makes dicing up demons even easier than before. The next couple of days I spent trading with piglings. I needed Ender Pearls, and after I got 6 of them, I left. I crafted them into Eyes of Ender and started locating the stronghold. That's right, I'm heading to find the last legendary swordsmith. I dug my way into the stronghold and it looked amazing. While roaming around, I found some demons hiding in there, so I quickly ended their suffering. After that, I found the last swordsmith, the dragon swordsmith. He would craft me a dragon glaive for 64 gold, 64 emeralds, and 64 blaze powder. I instantly started mining the emeralds and gold that he needed. Luckily, there was quite a bit stored in his room. I did, however, have to tunnel out to search for more. I spent a good bit of time mining and got into a lot of fights with demons. They love lurking around these caves. Urgent message from headquarters. Muzan has started giving demons more blood. They have increased health, increased speed, and increased power. Be careful, Slayer. On day 70, I gave the Dragon Swordsmith all the materials he wanted and collected the final blade. I used the nearby Nether portal to quickly travel through the Nether and back home. I tried out my dragon breathing techniques and they looked amazing. So I enchanted the dragon glaive with Unbreaking 3, Sharpness 3, and Red Sword 3. The next day, my crow paid me a visit.
Upper rank 4! Upper rank 4! We've sent all nearby demon slayers to slow him down. Head out quickly!
I sprinted as fast as I could. I knew those fresh recruits didn't stand a chance against an upper rank. I found him in the middle of a field. Demon Slayer corpses scattered around him. I rushed in to take his head, but he split into 4 different demons. They each had unique abilities, but after I sliced them up a bit, they merged once again, this time taking a different form. He looked way more powerful. Using my different breathing styles, I was able to avoid most of his attacks until I got hit by lightning. It hurt pretty bad, so I had to heal myself with a potion. But I wasn't the only one that was weakened. He was also feeling weak and he tried to hide from me in a ravine. But I cleaved off his head and now I've defeated half of the upper moons. On the way home from my mission, I spotted a big mansion. Pillagers were lurking outside, so I went in to investigate. It was a trap. Evokers brought back both the former and current lower rank 2. The battle was intense. Fighting in an enclosed space put me at a serious disadvantage. I managed to defeat one with my godly punch, but the other one got me extremely low. I couldn't run away from this lower moon. So I broke my way back in the room and finished him off. I'd made it back home to see demons invading my village. I think the pillagers hope to burn this one to the ground as well. On day 73, the pillagers are seriously unhappy with me. They're raiding my village by themselves. Interesting choice, because I'm so much stronger than those weaklings. I made sure they all paid with their lives. Some demons tried to stop me as night fell, but I made sure all of those traitors paid. I stole a few more of their magic totems as well, so I could use their own tricks against them. I spent the whole of day 74 disenchanting to gain levels and making red sword books until I finally did it. My wind sword now has red sword 5. My power level has seriously just spiked. I had the perfect opportunity to test my new enchants because upper rank 6's replacement was waiting for me. I was pretty nuts now, dealing some insane damage. I bumped into Zenitsu while fighting Kaigaku and I let him join in on the fight. Zenitsu managed to deliver the finishing cut. Well played, buddy. On day 75, I scouted out the nearby villages to make sure everyone was doing okay. And that's when I spotted this strange 6-armed doll. It had 6 swords, so I thought it might be pretty good for training, but I destroyed it too easily. As night fell, I found myself back at that strange mansion. An evoker was waiting for me. As I got close, the evoker brought Daki back. I thought I would easily defeat the brother-sister combo this time with my shiny new Red Sword 5, but I was mistaken. Her brother managed to kill me once. Luckily, the dark magic from the totems brought me back, and the demons managed to escape once again. Day 76, I got a report from my crow. A new upper moon had been spotted.
It's Upper Moon 3 Akaza. He's currently being pursued by Rengoku, requesting immediate backup.
I rushed over to the Mugen Train biome and found Akaza and Rengoku. I rushed in to assist, but I was blown away by a shockwave. That's when it happened. He killed him, no! I charged in and unleashed all of the techniques I could. Akaza was insanely fast and his attacks were so powerful. He pushed me back with some insane pressure and I had no choice but to retreat to heal up. During which, he managed to slip away. No doubt he'll follow me back home as they all do. Sure enough, the next night he was taunting me outside my house. I won't let him wreck my home and I'll avenge Rengoku. Akaza was truly a martial artist. He dodged my initial attack and countered a lot of my techniques, but I wouldn't let him escape again. This time, Akaza will be sent to the Shadow Realm. The battle raged on throughout the night until I managed to sever his head. But that wasn't enough. He ran at me headless. But in the end, he succumbed to Death's Embrace and exploded. I defeated Upper Rank 3 and avenged my fallen friend. On day 78, I built a grave in my garden to honor Rengoku. It took me all day, but I think the former Flame Hashira deserved this at least. Day 79, I tamed a cat that was hanging around near Rengoku's grave. I took him home and named him after Rengoku. I then headed out to gather as much food as I could. The final stretch was quickly approaching. Only 2 upper moons and Muzan remain. Urgent message from headquarters. Muzan has started giving demons more blood. They have increased health. Be careful, Slayer. Day 80, I felt an ominous presence outside, and that's when I saw him. You were there when they attacked my village. It was you!
It's been fun toying with you, but you've interrupted my plans for too long. With the power of Lord Muzan's blood, I will cast a spell to make it eternally night. All of the 12 demon moons will rise again.
I won't let you get away with this. This ends here.
Ha! Foolish mortal. May we never cross paths again.
He disappeared and things are about to get insanely difficult if what he said was true. I was instantly in a battle with Daki once again, and while avoiding her attacks, Gyoko joined the fight. 2 upper moons at the same time would be impossible, so I was forced to retreat. On night 81, I tried to get back to my village, but upper rank 1 stood in my way. I was forced back and slowly snuck around. I then found Enmu. The evoker wasn't lying. He had brought back all of the demon moons. I finished off Enmu as quickly as I could and was then ambushed by lower rank 2. The next 9 nights were going to be a serious challenge. Shortly after lower rank 2, I ran into Akaza, and while trading blows with him, I slipped and was almost taken down. I had to retreat into a nearby forest, but lower rank 6 was waiting for me there. He wasn't a problem. The real problem was Kaigaku ambushing me. I won those fights, but on night 82, I got myself into a long battle. Upper rank 1 Kokushibo finally caught me. I had no choice but to fight him. He dealt insane damage with his moon-breathing techniques, so I lured him into a lake to limit his movements. It looked like this could work. I just had to use fast-moving techniques. However, 2 demons joined the battle. Another lower rank 6 and another Kaigaku. It was a tough battle fighting them all at once, but I focused on the weaker 2 first, and then it was time to take down upper rank 1. I danced around the water, slicing him with my strongest swords. At one point, I was even juggling him in the air, until he transformed. He started shooting out huge projectiles from his blade and got a huge power-up. He basically killed me with an onslaught of attacks, but my totem brought me back. I then knew what I had to do. I switched up my techniques and started launching my own long-ranged attacks. After getting hit by a few of 9th form, Idaten Typhoon, upper rank 1 transform again. I kept pummeling him with long-ranged attacks and then charged up close to remove his head. It took me 84 days, but I did it. I managed to defeat the strongest upper moon. There's only 1 upper moon left for me to defeat, and it's upper rank 2 Doma. I started fighting one using a mixture of close and long ranged attacks. It looks like Doma isn't going to be an easy opponent. I was holding my own until I got surprised by an Akaza. I had no choice but to retreat. Days 85 to 87, I got into a bunch of fights. Another Kokushibo rose from the grave to murder me, so I ran away and ended up face to face with Doma once again. I led him back to the desert where we had a slightly better terrain for our battle, and I relentlessly attacked him. This battle gave me the perfect chance to try out upper rank 1's sword. Doma was just as aggressive as I was. He got me low on quite a few occasions. Eventually, he made a mistake. He summoned a giant ice statue, which made him a sitting duck for my ranged attacks. And with that, I've defeated every upper moon. The next couple of days, I made the dangerous journey home. I got into a bunch of fights. Some of them would have been impossible to win, like this time that every single upper moon surrounded me. Luckily, I managed to sneak back to safety. Rengoku the cat had somehow survived, but while at home, I felt that ominous presence once again. The Evoker King was back.
Impressive. You survived that onslaught. Huh, it was merely a distraction. Lord Muzan located your master, and he's ended the Demon Slayers once and for all. If you think you're strong enough, my master will be waiting.
I'll avenge everyone. You'll both pay for this. Starting right now. Oh, he got away again. I rushed over to the master's place. On the way, I stopped at a secret village and grabbed a netherite ingot from its chest. I upgraded my helmet, and then I was ready. Urgent message. Headquarters has fallen. Muzan is waiting at the master's place, but be warned. His health, speed, and power have all increased after consuming the Slayers there. Be careful, Sen. Day 90, I rushed into the master's garden, and there he was. Muzan. There was still a chance that I could stop him, so I had to take it. Once I kill you, the world will be at peace. What the? I managed to use Waterfall Basin to break my fall, but where am I? This dimension stretches on for what feels like forever. The buildings, the rooms, they all look the same. How was I sent here? Where's Muzan? It all seemed rather hopeless as I wandered around these strange buildings. Not a soul in sight. Perhaps this is how I meet my end. No, I refuse. I spent 7 days wandering these abstract paths, slowly losing my mind. But that's when I saw it, a door that would propel this story to its climax. I entered the giant hall and was hit by Muzan. He's here, the only demon life that mattered. If I can defeat him now, the world will be at peace. Demons will cease to exist and no more villages will have to suffer. This fight was going to be intense. Muzan could easily kill me with his insane power, so I had to trade blows the best I could. Eventually, Muzan stopped cosplaying Michael Jackson and fought me at full power. To be safe, I swapped to using mostly long-ranged attacks. Keeping him at a distance was the best thing I could do right now. His attacks poisoned me, so I tried to avoid as many as I could. I made Muzan extremely angry when I used upper rank 1's sword. He let out a roar that stunned me, but in the end, Muzan couldn't deal with my wind ranged attacks. They kept pushing him back just enough for me to survive. And then, I saw my chance. He was looking weak, so I sliced him into tiny pieces. My world was finally at peace. Wait, what about the Evoker? If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out my One Piece 100 Days next.